So I start out the Civilization 4 game with Julius Caesar here as my character. So actually I start out by making a mistake, as you'll see in a second. And that I don't immediately found my city, because I am first given control of my first warriors here. I move them, and then I move my settlers, which I didn't want to do. And because I moved them, that means I couldn't found my city in the first turn, which is annoying. I don't know if it really hurt my gameplay overall, though. So I try to found the city anyway, but it won't let me. I was hoping that I could give an order to found the city the next turn, but it wouldn't cooperate with me. So now it is the next turn, and I found the city of Rome, of course, and they respond in Latin. Then I begin exploring with this warriors unit. At least at the chieftain level, it's possible to move your military units around and not defend your cities at first. It's a risky proposition, but generally you win the gamble, because exploring and developing your society is arguably more important than militarism. So here I have to choose my first science to research, and animal husbandry I chose because it was recommended. So here I'm moving the warriors around to figure out what kind of land I have. It won't necessarily tell me where to found cities, but it will give me an idea of where the resources are, which is quite important. So, cultural influence of Rome is already expanded. As you can maybe see there, I am trying to build another settler in Rome to expand my society as quickly as possible. Like in Civilization 3, though, it's necessary to balance settler production and worker production, because otherwise your cities will not have the production capacity to build more settlers. Here I'm fighting off some lions. I mentioned in the introduction that wild animals are among your enemies in Civilization 4. They're given a barbarian government, but ultimately they're just wild animals. So here I've achieved animal husbandry, and I have to move to the next science to research, or the next scientific advance to research. Hunting, bizarrely, has not been developed yet, so I have to do that. So I'm finding a bunch of domestic animals out here in the countryside as my warriors explore, so these will be useful later. There are some more lions. Generally with warriors, because they have a stronger attack than defense, it makes sense to attack rather than defend. Here I'm having to defend, and you can see I lost a guy.
If you chase two rabbits, you will lose them both.
So hunting gives me spearmen and scouts. Writing would seem like the next logical thing to research. So I do. If you look up at the top there in the middle, you can see what technology is being researched. So here I've encountered some actual barbarian people. So first engagement with a real army here. Now notice I'm being offered the chance to promote my unit. So I will promote them. The City Raider promotion. And you can also fortify and recover from damage, which I just did. Unfortunately, some more wild animals have shown up there. So I will retreat instead of fighting them. And there the wild animals are again. I'm getting myself into trouble in terms of attacking at the right moment. Those are actually jaguars. I don't know how dangerous jaguars are in reality. I've heard that as big cats go, they're less dangerous than tigers and lions and so on. But in Civilization 4, they're one of your animal enemies. So here I'm in a position to promote the unit again, so I just promote the combat. And I will continue my exploration here. Down in the far lower right, you can see my score, too. I've just developed writing.
What deserves to be read.
My point is that the score down in the lower right is something else that's not in Civilization 1 or 2, at least. I just switched to researching alphabet because, bizarrely enough, you develop alphabet after you develop writing, which doesn't make much sense to me, but oh well. Now, there is a possibility to found a city, so you can use the right-click to give the go-to command for a unit, including settlers. So I've ordered them to go over there. So I'm moving the warriors in the meantime here. But the settlers have arrived in the new city location, and I found Antium. And again, I switched to settler production for Antium, but worker production for Rome, because I'm going to need workers, and it's necessary to have a balance. Toward the end of this playthrough, approaching 1 AD, I'll switch to military production, because it will become obvious as the barbarians start to move in that I've run out of time to build only settlers and workers. There are the barbarians again. This warriors unit is doing reasonably well, actually, considering it's only a warriors unit. The warriors are sort of portrayed simply as cavemen, it looks like, but they're clubs there. Now, Isabella, the Queen of Spain, is talking to me. In the chieftain level, it's fairly easy to get a diplomatic solution. So again, even if you encounter another nation, it's not necessary to go to war usually. So I'm examining her technologies to see if I can trade with her, but unfortunately neither of us is advanced enough yet to do that. But I will trade with her at the first available opportunity. There's some jaguars again. So I fortify and repair the unit. Now they're ready again, so I continue exploring with them. I found what looked like some pigs over there. They can be useful once I build cities down here if I ever have the chance. You can see the border of another empire there, so I may or may not be able to get down there before they expand. Now, strangely enough, I'm going to build a library in Rome because libraries and other improvements like that I generally prefer the capital for, at least in the early stages of the game. I do cultural improvements in the capital even if I otherwise prioritize trade. Now, Isabel is asking for open borders. I'm actually agreeing to that because I need the trade, but we still are not where we can trade technologies, unfortunately. Now, because I have open borders, I can go on her land here and take a look at what she has going on down there. Her soldiers can also visit me. I'm out of time. I'll see you in the next video.